There will likely never be an end to the discussion over which is superior, the iPhone or Android, despite the fact that there is very little chance of there being a true victor. We will do our best to assist you in finding your own particular selection. Both iOS 16 and Android 13, the most recent releases of their respective operating systems, are fantastic. While they share many functions, their designs are radically different from one another beyond the central touchscreen interface. The greatest smartphones on the market now use one of these two operating systems. We compare the iOS and Android mobile platforms and highlight the advantages of each so that you can make an informed decision the next time you're in the market for a new smartphone. Check out our comparisons of the Pixel 7 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max, as well as the Pixel 7 and iPhone 14, to see how the current Android and iOS leaders stack up against one another. And if you're sure you want to switch from an iPhone, you can learn more about Google's new Switch to Android app here. Comparing the iPhone to the Android. The advantages of the iPhone. You have a significant vested interest in Apple's ecosystem. This may sound like a trivial argument, but Apple manufactures a lot of other kinds of electronics. So if you already have a Mac, iPad, or Apple Watch, it only makes sense to acquire an iPhone as well. Time is money, and Apple knows it. Therefore, the company has developed a plethora of continuity tools that let you transfer information and files from one Apple device to another. For instance, using Handoff. You may continue phone conversations and Safari sessions on your Mac even after switching to iOS. Text copied from one system may be pasted into another with the help of Universal Clipboard. Another top pick is Continuity Camera, which lets you use your iPhone's camera to snap photos and scan documents that can then be viewed and edited on your Mac. Using Apple Pay and the biometric identification capabilities of your iPhone, you can even make purchases on your Mac. There aren't many Android phone manufacturers whose hardware ecosystems can compare to Apple's, and even for those that come close, like Samsung, you won't get the kind of integration available between the iPhone and other Apple-built products. Microsoft's new Your Phone software for Windows helps Google narrow the gap by allowing Android users to reply to messages and alerts from their computers. However, the experience is a little clumsy and there is still room for improvement. The iPhone is a crucial piece of the solution now, as iPhone applications can be moved effortlessly to macOS, and there are many more outstanding instances of continuity between iOS, iPadOS, watchOS, and macOS. Experts who are currently using a variety of Apple products would benefit greatly from adding an iPhone to their arsenal. Not to mention those who prefer to utilize iMessage and FaceTime to communicate with loved ones. The applications made by other developers are just superior. As someone who has used both iOS and Android, I can say that the quality of applications developed for iOS has continuously blown me away, whereas the quality of apps developed for Android has mainly disappointed me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there aren't excellent Android applications or developers, it's just that I've had a tougher time tracking them out. In contrast to Phoenix 2, one of the greatest third-party Twitter applications we've met on Android. Tweetbot 5 opens in a new tab and is an iOS-only exclusive and one of our favorite Twitter apps. Henry T. Casey, an employee here, often uses Bear opens a new tab to write blog entries on his Mac and iPhone, but we have yet to discover a note-taking software for Android that is as complete and polished as Bear. Apps from well-known brands, such as banks and airlines, may run more smoothly and cleanly on iOS than Android, thanks to tighter interaction with the operating system and built-in features like Wallet. The accessory selection has been expanded, in contrast to the Android community, which is mostly limited to the flagship handsets of the largest manufacturers. You can find shelves upon shelves of covers for any iPhone that Apple manufactures at any Best Buy or Target. When you've exhausted the somewhat good options for the most recent Galaxy S smartphone, you're out of luck. You can forget about finding any accessories for your new Pixel or Motorola phone at a local store. It's true that you can save some money by purchasing a $4 case from Amazon, but you'll definitely end up with the quality that you paid for. Cases, screen protectors, vehicle mounts, and other accessories are easier to come by for iPhones than they are for any other phone, which is more useful than most people give it credit for. One thing iPhone users never have to worry about is not being able to locate a suitable cover. Notifications from apps may be used to improve privacy settings. Notifications about which applications on your iPhone are monitoring your movements around the device were included in one of the most significant recent iOS updates. As a result, numerous third-party businesses, including Facebook, we're dealt a serious hit. Sadly, this functionality is not present on Android and is unlikely to be added in the future. iOS still has a little more resilience when it comes to third parties, but you shouldn't assume that it is intrinsically more private than Android. Apple still gathers a ton of data about you. It feels great when you successfully block an app from tracking your movements.